All right, hello everyone. This is our Final Fantasy spoilers. They had a reveal just done. They released a lot of cards. I'm going to show you most of them. They released some commons and uncommons that I don't feel are worthy of this list. We'll get to them later at a later date. But let's start off with Clive, Ifrit's Dominant from Final Fantasy 16. When Clive enters, you may discard your hand, then draw cards equal to your devotion for red. That's funny. So even if he comes down by himself, he's still you could draw two because he's two red pips there. I like Ifrit. I've always liked Ifrit. He's a lot of fun. I think if you can transform him, which is 6 mana again, so going to be expensive to get Clive to transform. But if he does, Ifrit comes in and he's a 9/9 demon that fights someone as soon as he transforms. So, I mean, I'm not sure if Clive's your commander. You could do it. But I think Clive's in the deck. Like, he's just there. In Standard, are we going to see Clive? I don't know if we see Clive in Standard. He does draw us a lot of cards, but 6 mana is asking a lot. Commander could see some play. I'm not sure about Modern or Pioneer. They might have a way to, like, we could like discard him and resurrect him and try to get the card draw going from Devotion. I'm not sure. I like the card. I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna pick up one, but I'm not expecting this to like break Standard. And by the way, I'm mostly a Standard player. Let's move on to Jill. Shiva's Dominant. Now I like Jill. Jill does it for me. See, for 3 mana, Jill enters, return up to one other target non-land permanent to owner's hand. It does not say yours or theirs. It says another target non-land permanent. So if you want, you can bounce one of their creatures or something that's annoying, or maybe a temporary lockdown. What I'm saying is that you can also bounce one of your things. So this thing helps Pixies. Jill is literally helping the Pixie deck. Does she make it into Pixie deck? I think so. I think she's fun. And I think you get a little bit of a condition there, Pixies. Let's say you only have like a 2/2 or something in play. You've been removed. You get her into play all of a sudden. Turn her into damn Shiva and start hitting them for 4 or 5. All right, let's move on. Here is the other versions of the card. I believe there's a third variant that's kind of like more of a sketch version. I don't want to say sketch, more of just a different version. Take a look at them. These aren't bad versions of the card. I wonder how these will look in foil, and I also wonder how they'll look in foil, but we'll see. Let's move on to Kefka. All right, so this card is crazy, right? So we got a Grixis Commander, or it could just be in Standard, Modern, Pioneer. Just it's legal everywhere. When Kefka enters or attacks as well, each player discards a card. Okay? Then you draw a card for each card type among cards discarded this way. Wow. Like, if you're in Commander, obviously Commander, you could get 2-3 cards with this, and that's just attacking, and it's a 4/5. But I mean, what we're all really looking at is the cost 8 ability where he transforms. So first off, each opponent sacrifices a permanent, a land, whatever, a treasure token, and you turn into Kefka, Ruler of Ruin. Whenever an opponent loses life during your turn, you draw that many cards. It's over. It's so donezo once this happens. Because if in Commander, I just do 1 damage to you all, I'm drawing 3 cards. If it's at a single player, like with the colors that of red, black, and blue, how are you not doing some damage? Like, just 1 damage here or a whole bunch. Oh man, he just and it loses life. Like, there's so many black cards right now that just do this. Watch out for Kefka, and I'm gonna show you the version that I want. I want this Shitaka Amano Yoshitaka. I can't say his name. I'm sorry, everybody. I want this art version. I think it looks the best. I will be picking this up. I think he can make it in Standard. That's the crazy thing. Not just Commander. Let's move on. Terra Magical Adept. 3 mana Gruul Commander or Standard. However you want to do it. When Terra enters, mill 5 cards. Put up to 1 enchantment card milled this way into your hand. Okay. So for Gruul, that's interesting. But in this day and age, because of how Standard is going, I don't want to talk about Commander. Hold on. Let me just talk Standard. In Standard, we're running so many 3 color decks. Teamer enchantment is a thing, and it would work. And also you get a 4/2 for 3 mana that qualifies in the teamer decks going that you need 4 power. But then again, like let's say domain enchantments. Domain enchantments likes this lady. They're like, hell yes, Terra, hell yes, go get us a damn leyline binding. Go get us one of the overlords. You know what I mean? Like, and then we have a little. I'm just talking standard. Let's say we get to 6 mana here. We exile Terra, then return to the battlefield, transforms under its owner's control. Let's be clear. It says owner's control. So if you steal her and try to use this, it'll go back to your opponent. Just be clear about that. So it's got to be you. You create a token that's a copy of a non-legendary enchantment you control. It gains haste. You put 3 lore counters on it, sacrifice at the end of the next step. Hold on, think about this for a second. So you go grab, or you get an overlord. You make a copy of the overlord because it's not a legendary enchantment. And let's just not even talk about overlords. Like any saga, you just anything that exiles a creature. Enchantments get so crazy. There's some enchantments that do. You could imagine just start doing damage, start drawing cards, start creating creatures. This is gonna be good. I like it. I also like the art on the trance. I have another art for you as well. Same thing for Kefka. I'm gonna pick up these art forms. I like them. And so let's move on to the next Sephiroth. There's like 3 versions. I'll show you the 3rd version in a second. I think this is gonna see so much incredible play. I can't even tell you right now. First off, let's just talk about Commander first. Yes, this is going to see Commander play. Is he your Commander? Maybe if you want to be, but I do think he's in Aristocrats. The fact that it says when he enters or attacks, you may sacrifice such a creature. If you do, draw a card. Cool. That's good. When another creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. If this is resolved the 4th time, you transform Sephiroth. Let's take a look at this thing. So we get a flying 5/5. As this creature transforms into Sephiroth, 1-winged angel, you get an emblem with whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. You can't interrupt emblems. The only way you can do it is restart the game with Karn. When Sephiroth attacks, you may sacrifice any number of other creatures. If you do, draw that many cards. What are we doing? He could be your commander if you want. I think he's in the 99. But if he's your aristocratic commander, you transform him and you get that emblem and you just go off on him. This seems like the most aristocratic commander ever. But I want to talk about standard for a second. Do we play a 3-mana, 3/3 that when it enters or attacks, you may sacrifice a creature, you could draw a card. Now, I know some damn decks that want creatures dead. Can we use this? Cool. And we get a card for him coming into play or attacking? Yeah, we get some cards going. We sacrifice whatever. But it's that crazy thing. Whenever another creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. I think this deck's like a Rakdos deck, right? Like you throw us in a standard Rakdos deck, use Urbrath's Forge, use Chainsaw, use these sacrificial creatures that are there for a little bit, or you mobilize. Just mobilize this dude, right? Because if I'm mobilized when the creature dies, it sacrifices at the end, they take the damage. So if we mobilize, 4? It goes off. This card, man. Just pay attention to it. Just watch out. Pick up your 4 copies for standard that I know we're gonna be using. Once again, we're gonna be picking up. This art looks fantastic, by the way. So check it out sometime. Next up, Cloud. This is all I have for Cloud so far. I understand there's another version. I couldn't find them currently on the internet outside of on a box. So here they are. I think Cloud Midgard Mercenary is going to be the new Stoneforge Mystic, except it's 2 white. But it's crazy that it just says, just go get a couple card, go get whatever, go get, you know what I mean? Like right off the top of my head, if you want to use the commander, go ahead. But what I see, like let's just say standard, I go get the Corey Steelcutter. I go, or for commander, go get Excalibur, right? Like go get the sword you want. Go get, this thing, go get a living weapon. Like, if I'm Orzhov, go get me Batterskull. So, there's nothing to say about Cloud Midgard Mercenary. He's good. I'm going to pick up 4. Cloud X Soldier, this is their commander. This is going to be out of the box. Haste, when Cloud enters, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to it. Whenever attached, draw a card. Equip, attach creature you control. Then Cloud 7, create 2 treasure. Solid Naya commander. If you really want to, I mean, if you build the deck, I think Cloud just knocks you out of the game because he has haste. So you just sit him in the command zone, wait till you get some equipment and such together, and just knock someone out of the game with like double striker. So let's move on. Uh, Gilgamesh. Now there's something to be said about this card because first off, it's expensive. All right, but we're probably never gonna actually pay 6. I would simply resurrect him, right? Because it says whenever Gilgamesh enters. We didn't say casts, enters, or attacks. So this is good. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You would put any number of equipment cards from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest at the bottom of your library in random order. When you put one or more equipment on the battlefield this way, you may attach one of them to a samurai you control. And guess who is a samurai? So let's just say this. All right, I resurrect this guy with Zombivire for 4 mana. Okay, let's not even talk about reanimate yet. If I'm an equipment deck or I have living equipment or whatever, like this guy comes in and it's just like, what? Or let's say you use those boots to give you haste, and you use some other equipments, or you go get what? I get the Corey Steel Cutter and it auto equips, so I get haste. What? I mean, this goes on. This card's gonna be nuts. I'm not sure how we're gonna use it, but I imagine it'll find a place at some home somewhere. Furion. Okay, I'm already plotting with this card. The Wild Rose Warrior. Oh man, equipped creatures you control have haste. Outstanding. You know what I mean? Just outstanding. If you want to use them in Commander, go ahead. I want to talk about Standard for a second. First off, that's awesome. My equipped creatures get haste. So if I want to do dragons or something, I have something that comes into play, I can equip them and get them going. Neat. Let's talk about that second ability there. Whenever a non-token equipment you control enters. So let's say a Corey Steel Cutter. Create a token copy of it, except this has 2 less to equip as the activate. Sacrifice a token at the beginning of the next upkeep. So if this guy is in play, he's just in play. I play the Corey Steel Cutter. All right. We get a copy of the Corey Steel Cutter. Right. So there's 2 copies of it in play then. So our second spell, whatever it may be, right, will activate both Corey Steel Cutters. All right. But this gets better. Because it says the equipment cost is 2 less, that means the Corey Steel Cutter equips for free. Okay, or it's not just, that's just the Corey Steel Cutter. Like, what happens when you start, like, I'm just talking standard right now, right? There's all these little equipment cards, like, they could get so out of control, like they give you double strike, or, like there's just cards. There's just a lot of equipment right now that it's gonna be crazy. It's just gonna be crazy. I think that I think Boros is gonna look at this, and I think other formats are gonna look at this because even like what we get Hammer Time. What Hammer Time? Fucking, we can get the Hammer Time on with Cigar des Gays. We double Hammer Time. That's 23 damage. Anyways, next cards. Cecil Dark Knight and Cecil Redeemed Paladin. I have mixed feelings about this card. I'm gonna let someone else try. I don't feel like building this deck. It's a 2/3 for 1 black mana, Death Touch. Whenever Cecil deals damage, you lose that much life. Then if your life total is less than equal to half your starting life total, untap Cecil and transform it. What does Cecil transform into? Lifelink. Protect. Whenever Cecil attacks, other attack creatures gain indestructible. Interesting. So you're gonna be using this with the other creatures. I mean, I don't know here. What I do like is that he kind of has. You don't need to attack with him per se. Like he is a 1 mana 2/3 with Death Touch. Right. We could use them on defense and try to get our life lower. In standard, I'm always worried about taking damage in standard because red can just blast you so quick that it's scary. But in commander, there might be a way to do it. But I gotta go to 20 life from 40 to 20. I don't know. I don't know about this. Like I said, I don't think I'm gonna let somebody else try to figure this deck out, not me. Garland, Knight of Cornelia. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, surveil 1. That's interesting. You just start dropping things in your graveyard. Just start dropping things. That non-creature spell, drop something in the graveyard. Drop something in the graveyard. For 2 mana, you get a 3/2 as well. Like, I mean, like Rakdos has got to look at this just in standard. You know, you could do something with you could do something in Commander with this, but I think this is a standard card because 2 mana, 3/2 for Rakdos. Every time I cast non-creature spell removal or something, go for the throw. I surveil 1. Neat. And I have a little finisher, 7 mana. Return this card from your graveyard. So 7 mana, and we get this guy back from the graveyard. Chaos the Endless. Flying. When Chaos dies, put it at the bottom owner's library. So it just comes back, and we get a little. So for 7 mana, if it's in our graveyard, we could bring it back and get a 5/5 with flying. Okay. All right, Final Fantasy VIII up. Renoa is really interesting, right? I love Angelo. I'm going to get a foil Angelo token. I'm wondering if they're going to give us more Renoa artworks, but this is all they've released so far. When Renoa enters, create Angelo, a 1/1 legendary, so you can't have multiple Angelos. A green and white dog token, okay? Angelo Cannon. Do we get all? Do we get all her abilities? Do we get all the limit breaks? Because Angelo has quite a few abilities. Whenever Renoa Hartley attacks another target creature you control, gets +1/+1 until the end of the turn for each creature you control. So just by itself, she would give Angelo and her would give +2/+2. So you're gonna make something big. You could send Angelo. Let's say you have 4 or 5 creatures. Send Angelo in there with like 4/4, 5/5. It's going to be interesting. Probably do some interesting things with her. I'm going to be very interested to see if they have other versions of Renoa or they have any other artworks for her. We'll see, though. Squall, Orzhov. I mean, this guy's just asking to be played. All right, 4 mana, Orzhov, legendary creature, human, knight, mercenary, rough divide. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, so let's say Squall, it gains double strike. So 3/4 double strike, not bad. For 4 mana, interesting. When Squall, so this card, deals combat damage to a player, return target permanent card with mana value 3 or less from a graveyard to the battlefield. Wowzers. So, okay. Just on its face for Commander. Yeah, this is a little aggressive, and I don't think anything in your deck goes above mana value 3. I think you just start beating people up and you put them in the command zone. All right, so we're done with talking about Commander. You guys at Commander, have fun with him. I don't care about Commander for this guy because I think I can use this guy in Standard. Like, this is insane, right? The fact that Orzhov, all right, gets a dude with damn double strike. Hold on. So that ability could go off twice. So Orzhov's already working the damn graveyard. So if this dude hits somebody, they get 2 things at mana 3 or less coming back to the battlefield. I could just see that damn monument coming back where it discards. So the deck's Orzhov that discards and draws, and it's trying to get that monument out that does 3. You lose 3 life whenever you discard. It just cycles. And then this dude hits you, brings it back. Oh, you broke it. Or then when you're just discarding, you bring removal. You bring like the 3 mana exile a creature card. You just run those, run some good creatures at 3 mana less, and it says a permanent card. So also you just get a land. Let's say you start from it, go get lands, the enchantments, artifacts, creatures, battles. Like, man, look, I know Commander, you guys are gonna have some fun, but in Standard, I have no doubt in my mind that this is going to see a little bit of play. Maybe 1 or 2 are added to these Orzhov decks or Esper decks. You know what? Just keep it. And even Abzan. Abzan brings back the Rhino. Just pay attention to this card. I like Squall. I'm already going to build like 5, 6 Commander decks. I think Squall will be in some of my Commander decks, but not the Commander. Aerith. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Gorgeous art. Love it all around. All right, but let's just talk about it. Commander, if you want to build her in Commander, I don't think you build a deck around her per se. You could, it'd be a pretty solid mono white deck, but I think this is she's in the life gain deck that you're making. Whatever Commander you want to do with it, I think she's in it. But let's talk Standard. Let's just talk constructed format. 60 cards for you all. 3 mana. Do I play a 3 mana 2/2 lifelink? Okay. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on Aerith Gainsborough. So if I gain that on your turn, not in my turn, your turn, I get it. Orphan Commander. Anyone. Anytime. I get +1/+1 counter. Okay. Okay. I'm hearing the right words here. Because I already know life gain decks that already exist, and they're just gaining life. When Aerith Gainsborough dies, flavor, crazy, put X +1/+1 counters on each legendary creature you control where X is the number of +1/+1 counter on Aerith Gainsborough. There's an Orzhov deck that uses a legendary vampire, and they use another legendary. There's like 2 legendaries where they sacrifice, gain life, and gain counters. This lady is essentially saying that these 12 creatures together are going to create this +1/+1 manufacturing of +1 counters, and you will just lose. Pick up 4. Just pick up 4. Commander, yeah, she'll win games. All right, Yuna. I can't even believe this card. Like, we saw the Commander card. This is for Standard and Constructed. I loathe Selesnya enchantments, and I've played Selesnya enchantments, but what this is saying here is Yuna, Hope of Spira, is a legendary creature, human cleric. Okay. During your turn, Yuna and enchantment creatures you control have trample, lifelink, and ward 2. So in Standard, Mistmoors and Hauntwoods coming through with trample, lifelink, and ward 2. Let's just be clear about that before we talk about the summons that she's gonna do. Okay, first off, we have dealt with years with Selesnya enchantment decks, and every time they do this, the one thing we kind of could deal with is that Selesnya would make like 8/8s, 9/9s, 10/10s, but didn't have trample. But what this lady is saying, she comes down and says, nah, my big stuff coming through, and I'm gonna gain a bunch of life. And likely this deck wants to gain life too. And then hold on, there's a second part to this card. At the beginning of your end step, return up to 1 target enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, hello, Overlord of the Mistmoors. Oh, do I get 2 1s? Welcome back to the battlefield. It says to the battlefield. Oh my god, Abzan is gonna love this. Anyways, let's move on. VVCDH. I'll read it real quick. VV Ornantir, legendary creature, wizard. So it's a wizard. 0 mana, not tap. It's just activate. Add X mana in any combination of blue or red, where X is VV's power. Activate only during your turn and only once each turn. So let's just say I Monstrous Rage. All right, VV goes up to 4. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on VV, and it deals 1 damage to each opponent. So I Monstrous Roar. That's a standard card. This thing goes up to 4. It goes up to 5. Okay. Now with 1 mana, I have brought him to +5. All right, so he's 5 attack. I now activate it, and now I have 5 mana. What? It doesn't say what the mana could be used. It just says you get mana. So if I equip him, I get him stronger. I'm gonna blow you all away. Like the way, and Fire Magic doesn't come with him. It's just a. Just wanted to show. It came with the card, and they showed it this way. Tiered, you pay 1, and then you choose one of these. You can only choose 1. So for 1 mana, you get essentially 1 to each creature, 2 to each creature, 3 to each creature. So it's a board clear. It's just an example they gave. Let's move on. Guys, Commander, this guy's baller. Standard, yeah, he's baller as well. Like, I mean, Izzet Cutter could probably, it doesn't need to run him, right? But if you wanted to make some kind of control Izzet with the Cutter, instead of going fast, you go slow. He's in there. Balladeer and Fran from Final Fantasy 14, I believe. Was it 12? No, it's 14. Anyways, 3 mana. Human Rabbit. Okay, so they get all the benefits of humans and rabbits. Reach, 4/3. Not bad. Okay, 3 mana, 4/3 with Reach. Okay. Vehicles you control get +1/+1 and have Vigilance and Reach. Okay, so the vehicles aren't tapping. Whenever a vehicle is crewed by Balladeer and Fran this turn, attack. So whatever recruit attacks. If it's the first combat phase, pay 3. If you do absence phase or additional combat phase, this is your vehicle commander right here, and it looks they are pretty. They look great looking arm, both of them actually. So this is your new vehicle commander. I mean, I know there was the Azurius one, no, but this just Gruul one right here is saying like, look, we're your vehicle buddies. They got vigilance, so they're not even tapping when they attack. Then they get no, this is your homie right here. And then if you vehicle on defense, they have reach as well. So you're not flying over this. This is your vehicle commander. Pick it up if you want to do it. Are we gonna see standard play with this? Possibly. Uh the thing is that the stats aren't that bad. 3 mana for a 4/3 with reach that gives other vehicles +1/+1. I don't expect this to be like game breaking, but I do think if there's a Gruul deck with vehicles, they're part of it, and they just have good stats too. If it, the only thing better was like 4/4, but a 4/3 for 3 mana, I take it. It could also go in the teamer deck because that teamer deck's looking for attack 4. Just something to think about. Summon the Esper Vala Garmada. I remember her being called Tri-Touch back in the day, but whatever. So we pay 4 mana, we get a 3/3 with flying and haste. Okay, that's reasonable. If I'm not mistaken, this is a commander only card though, because of the Chocobo. Exile is the sorcery from each graveyard, and then chapter 2, add 1 red for each lore counter on this saga. You may cast instant or sorcery exile by this. So yeah, not bad. I could see. I need to see more cards, but I think this is a fine commander card where you can start messing with our opponents using their cards. We'll see. Now Bahamut is a standard card, so 9 mana, colorless. Wow. Enchantment creature, saga dragon, flying 9/9. Okay, so for 9 colorless mana, I get a flying 9/9. What does your saga do? Saga 1 and 2. So we get 2 steps of this. By the way, at step 4 on this, they die. Same with this. When it gets to the last one, it does its ability and it dies. Okay. This guy doesn't have haste. This guy does. So this guy come in and start attacking. This guy has to wait a turn. So you drop your 9/9. To be fair, I don't think I'm really going to cast this. I think it's going to come out of the graveyard, but whatever. Destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. So it comes in, blasts something. Second turn, blast something. Attack for 9. Draw 2 cards. Attack for 9. And then the last, he's going to do this and die. He won't attack again. Mega Flare. This creature deals damage equal to the total mana value of other permanents you control to each permanent. Okay, so if this is alone, this creature deals damage equal to total mana value of other permanents you control. So if it's alone, it does nothing. So if you have a board, whatever it is, you just blast everyone. That's funny. You see, people playing Commander. I wonder if we'll see standard play. I think it might. I think it's good enough to see standard play as well. He's good, just blast him and win the game. All right, let's take a look at Kuja here. Genome Soldier, Rakdos, 4 mana, legendary creature, human mutant wizard. Great. At the beginning of your end step, create a tapped 0/1 black wizard creature token. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this token deals 1 damage to each opponent. Okay. When there are 4 more wizards, transform Kuja. Kuja is a 4/6, so he gets quite a bit of stats. He transforms. If a wizard you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double damage instead. He himself is a wizard himself. So, at minimum, you're going to have 4 to transform this guy, right? So let's just say if you have 1. You have 1 black wizard creature token. A non-creature spell. So I bolt wave you. I duress you. I play an enchantment. I play an artifact. You're taking 1 damage. Okay. So, like, first off, Commander, I mean, did it have to? It says each opponent. So in Commander, this is just asking to be like I feel like this Kuja will just drop you. There's going to be a turn where Kuja will have a couple wizards, or he'll be in trance and he's deal double damage, where he's just going to drop like a couple spells, and then he's just going to go bang, 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 and you're all out of there. And gosh, standard, hell yes, not even hard. control the board, drop them, you get the wizard token. Do you kill the wizard token or do you kill Kuja? Because the whole deck's probably going to be removal and draw cards. And so, like, do you remove this 3/4? And if you don't, how many turns can you go before you're just taking damage and damage? And by the way, black and red can do some damn damage. By the way, I like the art on the left. The art on the right looks good, but I mean the left looks gorgeous to me. Let's go to two different cards here. Lightning, Army of One. I think this is going to see standard play. You can play them in Commander if you want. I don't really want to talk about Commander. If you want to run Lightning, you can, but I think it's a standard card, to be perfectly honest. For 3 mana, Boros, legendary creature, human soldier, matters. First strike, trample, and lifelink. Okay, so this is a big deal. First strike's a big deal. So let's read the ability. Stagger. Whenever lightning deals combat damage to a player until your next turn, if a source would deal damage to that player or a permanent that player controls, it deals double damage instead. So the idea is first strike, if I hit you, right, the first strike would hit first, and then the other creatures would attack with double damage. So if I attack with lightning and let's just say a 4/4 with nothing, lightning hits them for 3 with the first strike first. The 4/4 will hit for 4, then 4 more. So 8. Lightning hits for 3. It's 11 damage. So, and it doesn't just say it, it just says a source. So all of a sudden, or let's just say that lightning hits you for 3 damage. After that, you bolt wave for 3. That's 6 damage. So you just did 3. A bolt wave does 6. So, like those one lightning strike does 6 damage. Bolt wave does 6 damage. Like all those cheap, the 1 mana does 2 damage. That you can kick as well. Like all of that starts doing double damage. And Boros has Boros Charm. What the Boros Charm's doing 8 now? Like, yeah, watch out, everybody. And she has lifelink. Just watch out. Like, look, Commander players, she's good. You can win some games. But in Standard, we're going to see this lady. And she's a soldier, right? So she gets buffs. We can get her out cheap. I think this is Jeskai. It might be in my Jeskai deck, actually. Ultimecia, or in the Secretive World, Renoa. It's 5 mana. It's an uncommon, by the way. This is an uncommon. Whenever Ultimecia enters or attacks, Surveil 2. Okay. 4/5 for 5. Okay. At the beginning of your end step, you may pay a grand total of 8 mana and exile 8 cards from your graveyard. If you do, transform Ultimecia. This uncommon is going to transform into Ultimecia Omnipotent, a 7/7 with menace. Time compression. When this creature transforms into Ultimecia Omnipotent, take an extra turn after this one. This is an uncommon spell, by the way. That's an uncommon. Do I think this sees any play? I think as your commander, yeah. If you play a Dimir, or you know what, it's probably in that. There's an Esper deck. It's probably in there. She's probably in the 99. I don't think you could make her a commander and just do it, but I'm not sure what you're trying to do there. I guess you just do some delving and you just graveyard shenanigans. But is she going to see play in Standard? Probably not. But it's just interesting that uncommon can give you an extra turn. Crazy. Here are the summons. So here's how they work. They are enchantment creatures essentially. You pay the mana as set above there, and then you get you get a creature, and then you get the first saga, and it instantly goes off. So Leviathan, look at me. This is going to fucking see play in every format it sees. All right. In Standard, if I'm playing just Kraken, Leviathan, Merfolk, Octopus, Serpents, and by the way, Merfolks is in there. Return each creature that isn't those. So we're bouncing the board. It itself is a Leviathan, so it doesn't bounce. But if my whole deck is within that category, this 6 mana is game fucking over for our opponent. Okay? And even, like, let's just not say, like, if you're a blue control player, you just drop this. You're like, all right, bounce it all. And then what do you get? You get a 6/6 with Ward 2 for a couple turns. So it's going to keep. So it comes in, it bounces. And then It doesn't have haste, so the next turn, until the end of turn, whenever any of those, the Kraken, Leviathan, Merfolk, Octopus, or Serpent attacks, draw a card. So we get a couple of these guys that we already bounced. We have a couple dudes, or just itself, we draw a card. Crazy. Watch out for this card. We're going to see it. Well, Commander, you're going to see this. Standard, I expect that's the winner. I think I know some blue players are going to look at Leviathan and say, that's our winner. That's how we win the game. We're not good. We don't play anything other than that. And they'd be right to do so. Okay. I know in my heart, Primal Odin is going to kill me in Arena. I know it in my fucking heart. I know how these things go. I have footage of me losing to absolutely every strategy and meme in the game. For 6 mana, you get a 5/3 Saga Knight. Oh, okay. What does this Saga Knight do when it first goes? Destroy target creature and opponent controls. Nifty. Not bad for 6 mana. Kind of steep for a 5/3. Just destroys a creature. What else does this? Zantutsuken. This creature gains whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player. That player loses the game. Do you even care what part 3 is? Sure. Hollow Star. Draw 2 cards. Each player loses 2 life. Both of us. And then it dies. I know I'm gonna lose this fucking card. I know. You know it's gonna be funny when it's a 5/3. You give it Blade of Selves and it starts trying to kill players. I wonder if that works. And last summon is Summon Fenrir. 3 mana. It's solid 3/2. Saga Wolf. It's also a wolf, by the way. So the werewolf decks work with it. Search your library for base land. Put it into battlefield tap. So it ramps. 3 mana. Wraps you. A land into play with a 3/2. Second one, when the next creature spell you cast comes with additional +1/+1 counter on it. Neat. Nothing crazy there. Still get a 3/2. And the last one, so it does this and dies. Draw a card if you control a creature with the greatest power or tied with the greatest power. So we get a 3/2 that comes in, ramps us 1 mana up. And then we get to attack once, maybe get a creature with a +1/+1 counter, and then possibly draw a card. Not bad. It's an uncommon. I think it'll see some play. Like enchantment decks will look at that and be like, hell yeah. Let's go. Noctis. I mean, this ability is going to break something. In Esper, legendary creature, human noble, not just Princess of Lucas. Like, lifelink, you may cast artifact spells from your graveyard by paying 3 life in addition to paying other costs. If you cast a spell this way, the artifact enters with a finality counter on it. Okay, let's just talk about something. What the fuck, man? Like at first you think like, oh, I gotta pay 3. Like that doesn't matter. You just made the damn graveyard another hand for us. Like it just says he can do it, right? So an artifact spell with flash or just on your turn, we have in a whole nother deck. We have a whole nother hand, which is our graveyard. I don't even know what to say about this card quite yet. I don't even know what to think about. And it has lifelink, so it gets the life back. Commander players are going to break this hard. Going to break this so hard. But in standard, I think it's just useful. It could get the Simulacrum Synthesizer back, get some other things. Cards that you sacrifice, get a back. I'm not sure. Give me a maybe on standard. Emmett Selch of the 3rd Seat from Final Fantasy XIV. This guy's going to see play. He's only commander, though. He has the Chocobo. He's going to be probably someone's commander. Spells you cast from the graveyard cost 2 less. He's probably in the Noctis deck. By the way, whenever one or more of your opponents lose life, you may cast target instant sorcery spell from your graveyard. If that spell would be put into your graveyard exile instead, do this only once per turn. What are we doing, man? So we just fill our graveyard, start casting stuff, and it's cheap, so essentially free spells. It's awesome. All right, we're wrapping up here. Jador, Aristocratic Capital. This is the first time they put Adventure on a land. Obviously, it comes in tap. That's not the big deal. The reason it's rare is this damn sorcery that says 6 mana, sorcery, adventure. Target opponent mills half their library, rounded down. Great. Now the mill. look, you're not gonna. There's already a mill deck, a control mill deck that exists. You're essentially just giving him the tools to win the game because they have this 4 mana artifact that mills you, and you just mill half your deck. You just lose the game. This activates it. Man, it's gonna be good. Next card. This is gonna be it for Xanarkand, Ancient Metropolis. Now this card's same as last one, enters the play tapped. But let's talk about this 6-mana adventure. I guess all the lands are probably gonna have a 6-mana adventure attached to it. Create a 1/1 hero creature token. Put +1/+1 counter for each land you control. There it is. There's your land. So your commander decks that do a lot of lands, have like 10, 12, 14 lands. Here's 6 mana. Get yourself a hero. Where I think this card might see some play is, let's just say you're a Simic deck and you're in standard. Let's not talk about command. Let's say you're a Simic deck or just any deck, Sultai. Let's say you've got nothing. You draw this card. You know, you're in the late part. You top deck this. You either have a land, but you also look at it and you're like, you know what? I have like 7, 8, 9 lands in play. We're at the last. Let's just make an 8 or 9/9 past the turn, right? I think it'll see some play. You know, I think it'll see some play. And we'll have to see what heroes do in the future. And then Summoner's Grimoire, 4 mana, artifact creature, so this is going to be a standard. Job select. Equipped creature is a shaman in addition to its other types. And whenever this creature attacks, you may put creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. If that card is an enchantment card, it enters tapped and attacking. Holy crap. I'm going to have to really define what job select does, but that seems crazy. If you have like a Hauntwoods comes into play attacking, giving me the crazy. Okay, everybody, thanks for watching our previews. I'll when we get more, I'll showcase them. I'm gonna be buying this whole set. I'm gonna have a whole set on my shelf, and then we're gonna have this in Arena. So pay attention, get ready, save your wild cards. Save them because we don't know what we're going to need to pick up. We don't know what decks are going to come out. We don't know anything. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.